Hi, everyone. I've been asked to speak with you for a couple minutes about where I live and how it impacts my spending decisions. So, I live in a little town called Sandtown, Delaware, which is kind of near Dover and Camden, Wyoming, Delaware, right in the middle of the state. It's an agricultural area where I am. There's a lot of farms and things, and there's our small towns as well. Um, One thing that's interesting about where I live is there's not a ton of stores. The area is growing, but it's mainly grocery stores and restaurants that are going in, but not a lot of the stores that you would find in, say, the northern part of the state, like up near Newark, or that you would find in the southern part of the state near the beaches. And so for me, I actually do a lot of my shopping online for a couple of reasons. One is the stuff that I need, I can't always find quickly or easily right where I live. So some things, it's actually more convenient for me to order it from Amazon or somewhere else and just have it shipped to my house. Otherwise, I might have to drive an hour or 2 hours even sometimes to get to a store that has the thing that I want. And that's just not convenient. Uh, so that's a problem, right? The other thing is some of the stores near me, I would need to go to multiple stores to get the stuff that I need. And so what I do is I actually do a lot of math and I figure out how much it would cost me in gas to go to all the different stores to buy all the things that I need. And I figure out how long it would take me. And then I figure out, well, is it make more sense to just buy it online or not? And if it's cheaper and it takes less time to just get it online, or even if it costs a little bit more to buy it online, I might still just buy it online because it's more convenient for me. And so that's a challenge, I think, when you're designing a city or building a city is you want to make sure that you attract the kinds of businesses that people are going to want to shop at. You can have a million restaurants, but people need to buy other things too, right? Like that's not the only place they need to spend their money. Or near us, like there aren't any real toy stores where I live. So if I want toys, I usually go online because the next closest toy store is a good hour away from me. So those are that's kind of important stuff to think about. There's just not as many opportunities or convenience, I would say, for where I live. For the holiday, now I will say this, if I can find what I need near me, I always try to shop at a local small business because those people normally live in my community and they give back to the community. And you always want to support the community around you the best that you can. So I try to shop in those places as much as possible, and I avoid like large chains. Like I don't necessarily go to Red Robin. I'll go to the little bakery that's in downtown Dover, or at a family-owned restaurant that's in downtown Dover if I'm going to eat out. If I need clothes, I probably am not going to Walmart for my clothes. I might go to a local business that sells clothes if I can find one that has what I need, right? So those decisions are kind of important, and that impacts where I shop. Another example is my bank. So I don't bank locally. My bank is in Texas. It's mostly an online bank. And one reason I bank with them is the banks near me, if I leave this part of Delaware, they don't have bank branches, meaning they don't have a place that I can go into um, and conduct my banking business. And they don't have ATMs. So if I need to take money out, if I need cash, it's usually going to cost me $5 or $10 just to take my own money out. The bank that I use that's in Texas, they don't charge me anything to use any ATM. So when I need my money, I don't pay any fees to get it. And so for me, that's really, really important. So I wish that it was a little more convenient for me to use a bank in my neighborhood. But with the amount of time that I spend traveling and being other places, it would cost me probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a year just in banking fees to use my local bank. And so I just don't do it. And so that's again, right? Like there's certain trade-offs for where you live. I enjoy living in an area that's a little slower, a little quieter, maybe doesn't have as much temptation in terms of things to buy. there's not as much going on, my family enjoys that. Like we spend more time together and outside doing those types of things versus in a city. I've been to a lot of cities. My wife grew up in a city in Limerick, Ireland, actually. She's lived in cities her whole life. And while you can get anything you want in a city, there's a price to be paid for that in terms of noise and pollution and some of these other things. I think at the end of the day, what I want to say to you here is, where you live should not always be based upon the things that you can buy. Where you live should be a place where you can satisfy people's needs easily, and you can satisfy their wants reasonably. But the power of a community is not just in the stores that you have and the amount of money that people make and all of those other things. It's a real balance. And the more stores you have, the more roads you have, and the more pollution and noise and all of these other things that are things people don't really want necessarily. But it's a personal choice. When you can support your community, you should. But otherwise, you first ask yourself the question, do I really need to buy this thing? And then if the answer to that is yes, I really do need to buy it. If you can buy it locally, you should probably buy it locally. If you can't buy it in your community, right, then you got to buy it wherever you have to buy it. That's just kind of what it is. But find a place you want to live, contribute to that community in a way that helps it grow and helps it be a place that people can satisfy their needs so that you can go out and buy the things that you want, so that you have good, happy, productive lives, because that's ultimately what's important. So I encourage you to make a list of what are the things that are most important to you in your community. What are the services and the goods that your community needs the most, and build your community around that. Good luck. I hope you find somewhere to live that you enjoy, and I hope that the city that you build satisfies your wants and needs.